Geraint Jones is out then, trying to hit Shane Warne down the ground. That was a steady catch from Michael Kastrovic. The tail is under such pressure. Still 13 needed to seal victory for England as Brett Lee starts a new over to Matthew Hoggard. Australia are proving just what a good and fighting side they are, and suddenly they have a real chance of stealing this win away from England.
Lee continues. Lee at the start of his run-up. That has to be close. The umpire's not moving on that one. The umpire didn't have to think too hard about that one.
They're appealing a lot. I don't know what you think, but I reckon the more they appeal, the less likely the umpire is to give it out.
Lee is going to try over the wicket. Lee is switching to round the wicket. Lee is going to try over the wicket. That was a no ball by Lee. There's the umpire signal, no ball. He'll be trying to pitch the ball into the rough. They'll be aiming for that rough stuff. He'll be trying to bowl into the rough. He'll be aiming for that rough patch.
Well, in the first innings he was brilliant. He spun it, it bounced, and everybody found problems.
He'll be aiming for that rough patch. They'll be well taken.
Loose, too loose a stroke for a good player. Oh, he'll kick himself. You can't keep a good man down. There's a 5-wicket haul for Shane Warne, the master. Certainly the greatest of all leg spinners, arguably the greatest bowler of all time, and he has another 5-wicket haul to his name here today. We've seen all the variations too, a ripping leg break, the odd googly, plenty of top spinners. Yep, no issue. Warne is still the boss.
Let's see the action He'll be trying to bowl into the rough. He'll be aiming for that rough patch. Warne will be trying to pitch the ball into the rough. He'll be aiming for that rough patch. He'll be aiming for that rough patch.
There's plenty of time left, so I guess the message is don't take any risks.
And we have a change of bowling. Ponting, you'll be aiming for that rough patch.
Now, it's just gone 5 o'clock and we're reaching the concluding stages of the day's play.
Well, he'll be aiming for that rough stuff. He'll be trying to bowl into the rough. He'll be trying to bowl into the rough. Well, he'll be aiming for that rough stuff.
It's been a reasonable afternoon of cricket. There's still plenty of time left, though, in this final session.
Well, he'll be aiming for that rough stuff. He'll be aiming for that rough patch. Well, he'll be aiming for that rough stuff. He'll be aiming for that rough patch. He'll be trying to bowl into the rough. Well, he'll be aiming for that rough stuff. He'll be aiming for that rough patch. Well, he'll be aiming for that rough stuff. He'll be trying to pitch the ball into the rough.
After a long old day, the players will put their feet up soon now. We're just coming to the end of play.
Well, he'll be aiming for that rough stuff. Brilliantly caught.
Would you believe it? He's picked the fielder out perfectly.
Warren gets his 6th wicket.
This really has been a fine spell, as good as you'll see of its type, and well deserving that wicket haul.
He's gone for a duck.
He's back in the pavilion, and there's a big round 0 alongside his name.
We can have a look at that again. Well, he'll be aiming for that rough stuff.
It's getting pretty late in the day, and the players are starting to think about the close of play.
He'll be trying to bowl into the rough. In the air and gone.
Lazy, that's the truth, and he'll regret it when he sees the replay.